Hello, my topic today will be about school shooting, which was a massacre on the Valentine's Day in 2018, which happened in Florida, the safest state in the US. Before mention about what happened in the massacre, I will talk about the attacker Nicholas Cross, a 19-year-old boy who had been expelled from the school. He always getting into trouble in school and he picked fights with other kids constantly. Constantly, everyone around him was being annoyed. So he was expelled from the majority Stoneman Douglas. And a year later, so the accident happened when a staff member saw him outside. He noticed to his colleague a code red, which is an active soldier, is coming to, to initiate a lockdown of the school, but it was too late. Cross entered the school, then he activated a fire alarm and began shooting into students that he saw in the hallways and on the school grounds. So after shooting in the first floor, he went up a total 3 floors to commit murder. In about 10 minutes, Cross drove along the halls and targeted the people in the classroom on the first and second floor. Before leaving the campus in a crowd of students, he ditched a rifle in another star in another stair in the third floor and blended in with the students running out of the school and escaped. Through the narrations of the witness, when the fire alarm assumed when a fire alarm was blown out, uh, and at that time the teacher in the school assumed that it might be a trap because a few days ago there was a fire drill. So she told the student to stay in the classroom, and the student began to discuss loudly. Then they heard a shooting suddenly. At that moment, they hid out, locked it inside the classroom. Some people began sharing the terror on social media and asked for help from their families. Nearly 18 minutes after the first 911 call, Cross had been called uh, to address the result. It left a huge losses to the families, the friends of the survivor. A total of 17 people were killed and more than a dozen of people were injured. More importantly, the terrorist attack is a great loss to the victim family and friends. After the accident, the terror, the students are haunted by that day and it leads to trauma. That's when the community stood up to argue about selling guns to 18-year-olds. People wanted the government to enact a law banning 18-year-olds from owning a gun. And now the law has changed to 71 years old to buy a gun. It is a happy side for after the sadness the sadness day of in Florida. To address what school did to address it, um, before the shooting, the school had activate has before the shooting the school had active software training with saving more lives if the accident happened. Um, for more information, after the shooting at Columbine High School in 1999, schools in the U.S. began to implementing active shooter drills. Florida, of course, is the one of the states which shooter drill is mandatory. They want to guide students that when the panic button is pushed, people should know how to secure their life, and that is the school preparation. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough to to against the terrorists enter to the school. After the terror, other teachers instruct their students to run to their parents or run to a safety place away from campus. Many many majority Stoneman Douglas students and the staff and their families continue to affected by the day. They was affected both physically and mentally. Therefore, in the days and weeks following the MSD shooting, stakeholders, the district, the government, the school, the community provide mental health service, coordinate and conducted virtuals and other remembrance to comfort the losses. The school and district provide counselor to help kids process through this trauma and they also gather ideas from students to express their needs. After the terror, the lesson learned in general, the first lesson learned from this massacre is to always evaluating complaints from people. The police, I think the police did not address warnings about Kurt despite his lengthy record of his misbehavior. Although the neighbor, the friends, and the community in social media has continually reported him to the police because they are afraid that he could be shot himself, committed to suicide, or harm another people. Besides, the second lesson is that the school also showed the mistake of its security. It is totally unsafe when a stranger can enter the school area easily. The school gate was unlocked and there was no identity check or blocking stranger from entering the school. The school have to try both the security and not not only in the Florida needed. The school, all school in the US or all school in the world should increase security to prevent terrorism, to prevent huge losses in the future. And if I were an employer at in the school or in the security member in Parkland, the uh, I will the first thing I will review the complaints. The incident happened partly because of the regional police did not pay attention to the complaints sent. I think Kurt's intention was posted on the social media and reported by people around him. So he is a dangerous element to community. I will pay attention to his behavior and not allow him to buy gun. I will change the alarm zone of the community. Yeah, which I mean, I will pay attention more on the dangerous element, which have, which maybe, which have, would have, would have, which will harm the community. The second thing I would do is to conduct a large scale of training exercise that focus on the response on a mass violence incident, on a mass violence. Uh, the drills should be held on a regular time to get people aware of the dangers around them. Um, Although it may be maybe impossible because if I conduct regular drill, it could cause a trauma to the student, especially for the primary grade. And the third the third thing I will do if I were employee in the school staff is to build an ante room where the guests will be asked to pass over identification to receive visitor pass. In Vietnam, they have an ante room, so I think in the US they have equipped an ante room. Also, it is safer and make sure that everyone in the school area to be safe there. And also, of course, new windows and doors which are bullet resistant will be equipped on in the school. Maybe it costs the money from the government, but it is safer and possible to conduct. Uh, the last thing I will, and the most importantly, I would like to share is education. Education. We need to educate the public, especially for the students, about guns in order to prevent firearm ignorance. We should have mandatory gun safety classes in school and teach young people what is gun and what the purpose of the gun, what the gun can serve the life. Gun restriction, like many teenager and parents like gun. uh, Gun restriction will not get rid of school shooting because when you restrict another from an object, it just increases the excitement when they use it. So the crime is the people holding it. It not for it not belong to the gun. So I think I will educate them carefully and explain detailing what they can do with the gun, what they have to take responsible with the gun, what the result if them use it, if they misuse it. So that is my presentation. Thanks for listening.